Hello, and welcome back to Redstone Tutorials with Dellx. Today we'll be talking about rails, clocks, and dispensers. First off, here are how you make rails. 6 iron ingots on the side, stick in the middle, and you get 16 rails. Pressure plate in the middle, same number of ingots on the side with a glob of redstone, give you 6 detector rails. And over here, you have to use gold ingots, a stick, and a glob of redstone to make 6 powered rails. So I'm going to show you how these can be useful. And you can't talk about rails without talking about the minecarts that go on them. This is a plain minecart. Hop in, and you can enjoy the ride. Over here is a chest minecart. You can store things inside it. It's about the size of one chest, so it can hold quite a bit. And lastly is the furnace minecart, which gives some coal, a little bit of fuel, whatever, and it pushes all of them. Now to get them all back, all you need is a stone sword, or pretty much any sword, and they pop back out. There's some Josh's pants. And to make the minecarts that I just showed you, you're going to need 5 things of iron to make a regular minecart. Now to make the minecart with chest, all you have to do is put a chest on top of a minecart. Same with the minecart with a furnace. Furnace minecart. Easy enough. Now it's on to the rail portion. I mentioned 3 different rails. Regular rails, detector rails, and powered rails. Regular rails will cause a cart to go wherever. Detector rails, whenever there's a cart on them, will send redstone power to anything, such as redstone dust, or repeaters, or whatever. And lastly are the powered rails. Now, these require a constant stream of power for them to be activated. However, when they're off, they also work as a good brake. And as you can see, the only kind of rails that will turn are the regular rails. Powered rails and detector rails will not turn. Now, if you provide a power source to a bent rail while there's a rail next to it, it'll alternate. This can be done with a redstone torch or a lever. Okay, this is an interval clock. All you need to do is place a torch here and it'll cause a little tick. Now, there's a redstone torch down here which causes it to power this repeater. Now, redstone signals won't go through glass, but they will go through the solid stone. Once it reaches the stone part, it sends a signal which activates the piston. And you can do this for pretty much anything. And here is our second kind of clock. It's not really a clock, it's just a timed RS NOR latch. I like to call it the long button. Pretty much, you have the signal, it takes forever to go back around, and then it resets itself. So this can be quite useful if you want to power something for a longer period of time without having to turn it back off with a lever. And time to talk about more practical clocks, such as this in the chest. If you use 4 iron ingots around a glob of redstone, you'll get an actual clock, which you can carry around and tells you what time it is. Looks like it's almost midnight, actually. However, if you use iron ingots, you get a compass, which is still quite useful. And beside me are 2 different kinds of clocks. This is a piston clock, and this is a repeater clock. Now they're both timed out exactly the same due to the repeaters on the back. The difference between them is that piston clocks are a lot louder than the repeater clocks. Now, you're probably wondering, why would I use a piston clock if it's so noisy? Well, if you're making an adventure map or something, and you want it to have that very mechanical look and sound to it, having a piston clock isn't a bad idea. However, if you want it to be hidden and secret and have no one know about it, repair clock. And now on to dispensers. Pretty much the thing I'm just standing on. Now, to make a dispenser, you need 7 cobblestone in the shape of pants, a bow in the middle, and a glob of redstone. Huh. A dispenser inside a dispenser. Okay. And to use a dispenser, it needs some kind of power input. Normally, a button. Then you can be ready for battle. Now, dispensers can shoot through walls, or even when they're completely encased, like this one. And you can still get something for lunch. Now, dispensers normally just throw stuff out, like this. However, there are some items, such as arrows, which shoot out, blaze charges, which fire out and catch fire to anything, and eggs, such as these slimes. Oh, fuck! Go away! Who filled that up with creepers? Fuck. Okay. That dispenser's definitely filled with creepers. Later, everyone.